Hi, my name is Aurora. Today I'm going to present about Lewis Carroll. The reason why I choose Lewis Carroll is because he is actually one of the most famous English novelists, poets, and mathematician as well. He has a lot of amazing work, and one of them is Alice Adventure in Wonderland. Alice Adventure in Wonderland is also one of my favorite um, when I was like a little kid. And through this presentation, I want to give you guys a little bit more background information about Lewis Carroll, what inspired his writing, and who he inspired during his career as a poet novelist. So start off with the biography of Lewis Carroll. He's born in January 27 in 1832 in England, and he passed away January 14, 1898 at the age of 65 in England. He's actually the eldest son of Charles Dawson and Frances Jane Lockwood. He has 10 siblings and they all grew up in an isolated village in an English countryside. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of the presentation, he's an English novelist and poet. He's attended Christchurch and went to a constituent college as University of Oxford and Alice Adventure in Wonderland, as well as the sequel Through the Looking Glass, published in 1871, are some of his famous works. So he actually got married with his first cousin, Frances Jane Lockwood, in 1830. He suffered from a lot of disease and illness, such as chronic migraines, epilepsy, stammering, partial deafness, and ADHD. And these illness also a part of things that inspire his writing a lot. Talking about his style, so he primarily wrote comic, fantasy, and humorous verse that children enjoy. And a great example of it is Alice Adventure in Wonderland. You look at the wordplay that he used during while writing Alice Adventure in Wonderland. He is also the master of satire. He used exaggeration and distortion to discuss real life issue and put it into his work. He used italics a lot in a lot of his writing to emphasis, and his writing style is often entertaining and amusing. That is also the reason why a lot of children enjoy reading his work. He's also famous for his nonsensical writing style, and it can be seen in a lot of his poem and story. And he also applied this while writing Alice Adventure in Wonderland. As you can see, there's a lot of scene that doesn't make sense, but they all connect together to build up like an intended meaning of the story. Some of his famous work is Alice Adventure in Wonderland, published in 1865. The sequel, Through the Looking Glass, 1871. The Wars and Carpenter, published in 1871. The Hunting of the Snark, 1876. Jabberwocky, 1871. Phantasmagoria, 1869, and Your Old Father William, published in 1865. These are really good work of him, and I highly recommend you guys to read one of them, especially Alice Adventure in Wonderland. So some of his common themes that we usually see in his writing is precarious reality, subjectivity and reality, the sense in nonsense, the inevitable loss of childhood innocence, the loneliness of growing up, self-empowered, and courage in the sense of being lost, especially the sense of being lost. This is kind of like the main theme of Alice Venturing Wonderland, when the story is all about Alice getting lost in the Wonderland, and there's a lot of story build of the intent, meaning why Alice having an adventure like that. And here's like a short clip that I found about Alice Adventuring Wonderland. And you can see there's a lot of like the sensing nonsense that is used in Alice Adventure in Wonderland through this video as well. So this short video is a shortcut of the beginning of Alice Adventure in Wonderland to see how the story start off with. And you can see like the nonsense scenes here is the rabbit talking, holding a watch and pretending that he's in a rush of something and he's like late. And that's why Alice started chasing him, and she got herself into like a new adventure in Wonderland. So what influenced Lewis Carroll? There's actually a lot of things influence Lewis Carroll. First is his mathematical background in logical disposition. His interest in photography of literature also inspired him a lot in some of his writing, including Alice Adventuring Wonderland. His abnormal eating habit, neglected childhood, sleeping difficulty, and dual personality. This is why he have a lot of writing, a lot of his work is about the loss. So who influenced Lewis Carroll? Han Christian Andersen, Edward Lear, Drew MacDonald, Brother Grimm, John Ruskin, John Everett Millais, William Holman Hunt are some person that influence Lewis Carroll a lot in a lot of his writing, and you can actually see the similarity between Lewis Carroll work and these person. So there are some writer that Lewis Carroll influenced, and they are John Lennon, L. Frank Baum, Dr. Seuss, and Nick Bilton and Neil Gaiman. And then there's also an award that is named after Lewis Carroll, which is called the Lewis Carroll Bookshelf Award. It lasts from 1970 until 1979, and this award will be for those who have similar writing style with Lewis Carroll. And here's the references of my presentation. Thanks a lot for paying attention throughout my presentation. And if you have any question, feel free to let me know.